Disclaimer. Hello everyone, and for this video we've got some Hasbro news that's a little bit interesting. A little bit, what is this, Hasbro? But before we continue with this video, obviously I still gotta plug themallbays.com because we've pretty much been getting through all of the UX orders and anything else. We do have pre-orders for some other stuff and some Beyblade Burst stuff. It's an optional way to support the channel. It keeps the channel alive. I appreciate any support regardless. So let's kind of talk about the main thing here, which is all this Hasbro X stuff, because we've been getting more and more information as time has gone on, and I am genuinely in this spot where I don't know how to feel. There is some stuff I think is awesome, and some stuff which we'll get to, it's like, I'll kind of go over more of the more recent stuff. Some stuff will be kind of a recap from before, the general wave stuff, whatever. I don't want to cover any of the really small stuff, doesn't matter too much, but you know, we got the main stuff, for example, like this big stadium set, and we have the exclusive, which is Tusk Mammoth, and it's paired up with Drawn Dagger in the Extreme Battle set. And Tusk Mammoth is essentially what happens if you just round off a Hell Scythe. But you'll basically notice that there is this trend with the exclusives that we'll get to in a moment. But at least my thoughts on like how Hasbro did this stadium. You have to keep in mind that Hasbro does have restrictions. Or I guess more specifically, the Hasbro Beyblade team have restrictions on what exactly they can do. So you will never get it where you get the original size TT Extreme Stadium. The reason for that is because of how the Western market is for shelf space and all that stuff. It just cannot work. That's why the stadiums are modified in size. If you're like, oh, I would have liked to have the original size, sure, but if you're like, they should do it, they can't. So for what this stadium is, I'll say that the stadium is honestly the best adaptation possible that they could have done. And I thought as much, because anyways, the stadium was designed essentially to just be like a Hasbro stadium, right? But, you know, this stadium set's benefit, you get Drawn Dagger, which is a pretty solid blade, the Rush thing, and the stadium, well, this is the only real proper way to get that stadium, but basically, the trend you're going to see with these exclusives with Tusk Mammoth is that a lot of these exclusives, and some of them are better than others, but it's essentially that they use the base plastic. So for an example, this uses the base plastic of Hell Scythe, and they basically modify the metal shape to be different, right? And I'm kind of so-so on this, because we've seen this, like, for an example, like Phoenix Feather, or even, like, back in Beyblade Burst with, like, Devil and Dynamite. But those were always Koro promotion, and those weren't ever, like... I don't believe there was ever a case where it's, like, mainline something of a case like this. I don't know if this was, like, some restriction that they had for what they could actually do, which maybe could be the case. I mean... it would make the most sense anyways cost effectively, like in Hasbro's standpoint, in the sense it's like, well, we can do exclusives technically, but we're probably confined to like, we can just modify whatever's pre-existing slightly and just do a difference. So the only real benefit you're going to get out of this, as we're going to move on through the rest of it shortly, is that if they're modifying blades that are already good, then you have the option to maybe run both of them in like a deck of 3 bays. So that's like maybe the excitement. If it ends up being ass, it ends up being ass. If they modify a bay that's crappy and it's still crappy, that's no fun. If they modify a bay that's crappy and ends up being good, then maybe that gets some fun. So trying to make sure we cover all the grounds and be respectful towards what they're able to do. Speaking of which, we do get a very nice 2-pack of Knife Shinobi and Keel Shark. Now, Knife Shinobi is a modification of Rhino Horn, and the Keel Shark is from the BX-20. Very nice. I mean, the Keel Shark looks obviously that awesome green and whatever, but you know, that Knife Shinobi, let's talk about it. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, it's obviously modified from Rhino Horn, and the thing is, Rhino Horn's already difficult enough to use as is. Like, at best, you got some really wacky, kind of hard critical attack. Maybe you could get this to where maybe this could bonk a little bit better, like give a little bit more impact on the hits. Like, obviously this is supposed to be a defense type for the exclusive, and the previous Tusk Beyblade was a balance type with the 360 taper, but I don't like the color choice. I feel it's all over the place for what they're going for, and I believe the parts we'll get to in 1 second. I think it's like 480 high needle. Yes, which is like, They're like their 480s, which, by the way, the parts recolors are kind of hit or miss. That high needle, though, okay, look. That high needle and the colors of that Keel Shark, that looks really sick. That I like quite a bit. But, yeah, I mean, looking at the Knife Shinobi thing, I don't know how much better we can really get from Rhino Horn. Hopefully, it's an improvement. Otherwise, it's just meh. But, yeah, you can basically see here, the 480 is, like, okay. Like, it doesn't match the base. Like, if you put this on something separate, maybe it's fine, but, you know, the yellow and kind of like the magenta doesn't really match the overall. So the high needle does match, I guess, but, yeah, you know, it's like, it's so-so. It's so-so. We move on from there to the next one, which is, what do we have? Chain Incendio and Arrow Wizard. They picked the green one from the 3-on-3 set, and obviously, you know, your chain is in Chain Incendio is in the 2-pack there. So I mean, not too bad for the choices there. I think that's pretty neat actually. And then, you know, the benefit actually for a lot of this Hasbro stuff is you're gonna basically see that it's in a very smart way how they basically recycle recolors and stuff like that. So technically you get like the original TT stuff and whatever, but like the original TT colors, I would love to see more original recolors, which we're already kind of seeing with some of the parts with the exclusives. I just love to see, you know, maybe there's like a recolor TT that's new that Hasbro can capitalize on, which I think they can do to their benefit. They kind of did that in Burst, for an example, like with the original Valtrek, and they had like the Baylocker Valtrek be like that black recolor, which was pretty cool. I'm not going to show a visual for that. You can just search or whatever. But hey, speaking of which, like I just said, hey, what a good opportunity. Tail Viper and Sword Drawn, a 2-pack, and this drawn is from the BX-17, the nice red one, so that is pretty sick actually that they did that. I think I did actually kind of have that in my my temp predictions, whatever, but that is super, super cool. Massive W, nothing really much else to add there. The prize Viper Tail, nice drawn. You get your orb, your 580, yeah, very, very good. Very, 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 very good. Very pleased with this. Yeah. Listen, like I said, I keep going into the void, the Hasbro void. Like I said, there are times when I'm like, other times when I'll say, yeah, that was a pretty damn good choice. That is very, very good. Very pleased to see they actually did that. Keel Shark. So, in terms of my thoughts on like the general stuff, like I kind of mentioned previously, you can look at it one of two ways. For an example, if you already get TT bays, right? The benefit is you don't have to go through like a full, it'll just be nice for spares. So if you already have it, you don't have to go through another random booster to try to get it, so that's pretty cool. If you never got TT stuff, you don't have to go through the random booster stuff, and you just get everyone go, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, the stock Shark and everything, anime colors, a beautiful booster. We love to see it. Very, very nice. And again, there are times when I can add commentary and other times where I cannot. And in the case of the Shark, what else is there to actually say here other than just, hey, that's pretty cool, I guess. Okay, now here we get our Steel Samurai, which, with Steel Samurai, this is a modification of the Leon Claw, which, you know, it's okay, it's alright. I'm not really too keen on any of the designs for the, other than like the Tusk Mammoth, because it's just a copy of Scythe. Steel Samurai, it's interesting because Leon Claw, you really need to hit it on the top of the section there, but they modified it quite a bit to where it's like the side sections are kind of sticking out. So maybe potentially this could be maybe better than the original Leon Claw, maybe I'm coping a lot. The design on that gear chip does look fire though. That looks very, very fire. I actually like that quite a bit. So if it's shit, it's shit. If it's good, it's good. We'll have to eventually test it and find out. But oh my god, 480 taper. Yeah, I've been saying they like really the 480s. I mean, actually the color choice in that one's not too bad at least. Like at least it's like matching. A purely white taper. That's interesting, actually. Okay, I mean, moving on from there. Oh, okay, this is the other basic stuff. So I'll kind of just skim over this because we've already kind of been over this. But obviously, Scythe Incendio. What else do we got here? We'll just go through this is the other basic starter stuff. In the proper launchers, they're selling separately. The proper launchers, these are like the entry launchers, so not really that good. But yeah, you know, proper balance type. And I'm assuming that the Leon Claw and the Lance Knights, or Knight Lance, whatever, those are supposed to be Wave 2. So the Wave 1 launch is going to be super, super weird with how they're doing this, with how everything's coming. I'm pretty sure we get, like, technically everything up until Phoenix Wing, actually. except for Wyvern Gale, I think. There's Horn Rhino there. You know, nothing really much else to cover on this one. I really just want to kind of go on to the main stuff, so just a quick little recap for all this. I think next up is the exclusive, it should be. Yes, we're almost there. But yeah, Rhino, basic booster, you know, it is what it is. Sword drawn. Okay, we're gonna kind of go through the rest of this. But yeah, let me know in the comment section kind of what are you looking most forward to for the kind of the launch of Wave 1, and seemingly this should be everything. Oh, beautiful. Here we go. Talon Terra. We got Pterodactyl. This is modified off of the Viper tail. I'm a teensy bit worried about this one because it kind of looks like Viper tail but rounded off. Which these ones are more offensive. Like the Knife Shinobi one, okay. And even the Steel Samurai one, that's pretty modified. This one's like, I don't know. I mean, listen, visually looks cool, but I'm just talking about the actual blade design. I'm just considering performance-wise. If, for whatever reason, they remove, like, the fangs of Viper Tail, that might be scary for bursting. Because if they're just using the base of Viper, I didn't want to think about that. I know they gave it, like, 380 ball to stamina type. I mean, either way, the way I viewed the exclusives, it's actually, the 380 in that ball looked pretty... Well, the ball I don't think is a new recolor, but the 380 does look actually pretty cool. The way that I view this exclusive stuff is just this idea. It's like, it's neat, I guess, and if it ends up they perform good, then awesome. If not, I don't really care that much. Now, I think we get to the big one, which this looks... Oh, okay, we're not there yet. Sorry, we're at Helm Knights. My bad. This is actually solid defense bay, by the way. We're going to get to the stadium, which the stadium, I have a lot of thoughts to share, which none of which are the best of feelings towards it. Oh, okay, actually, this one's what I want to talk about also, by the way. Dude, you know what's crazy is that in Wave 1, you're going to basically have it where you're going to get Soar Phoenix, along with all the other stuff with Orb and whatever. It's going to be very, very scary at launch. This is going to be a one that's going to sell out quickly, dude. Sell out quickly. String Launcher, Soar Phoenix, it's going to be high demand. Okay, so this is the stadium. That's the stadium. So this is the Bucket Stadium. So keep in mind, I have to defend actually Hasbro here. They are confined to restrictions. So the Bucket Stadium had to be done like this. There was no other way. It looks like shit, but there was no other way. We don't know if it plays like shit, but it does look like shit. So let me clarify by this. Oh, yo, by the way, so it turns out the stadium does have 4 pockets, but that really fat one that kind of has like that guard on it, that actually is the extreme. So actually, you can do an extreme finish in that stadium. Very odd design. I'm still not really that much of a fan, but I do have to correct the record just because I didn't think there was an extreme zone, but there is. It's just very weirdly modified to the stadium restrictions that they have because of, you know, how the market is, but I'm still not for the stadium. But I wanted to at least be fair to them. I'm gonna save most of, like, the real impressions until I actually get in hand. The release date, they say June, you'll probably find it in May. I also want to throw out the offer there that if anyone is in the America and manages to find the bays pretty early, or for whatever reason can obtain these bays, hey, if we can arrange something so I can get it, I would appreciate it, because the Canada side is going to get it, I think, in August. But, yeah, I think that's pretty fair to Hasbro here. You know, I gave my pros and cons, defending quite a bit, I would say. Try to be as neutral as I can. But yes, that is going to be it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. Take care and bye.